second time out since opening day where I took the doe right over here. I'm in the stand a lot earlier than I was the first because of the cold front. Getting up this morning, it was about 48 degrees. Getting here, it was about 50, so no big change. So, if I learned anything from the last time, it's to pay attention from behind me, because that's where the other deer came from. If you can see down here, the food plots are gone. They're all gone. So that's the end of that. A lot of birds are up this morning, blue jays. So I'm gonna let the woods calm down since I kind of trekked through here a little bit. Didn't make too much noise, but enough to wake these people up and the squirrels are chirping. There's a little dell right here. She's going to the football. So that little doe came off that ag field. She puddled around here for a good 10 minutes. Up and down. This tree's down through here. She went up and over, came back over, back down around here. Went to the food plot again, and then the squirrel, I should have kept the camera rolling. The squirrel jumped out of the tree, and I think that deer took a poop on its way running across the hill. It was hilarious. But that's a really, really young doe. A yearling, almost fawn. And you could tell. If that was, sometimes that was a real mature deer, it ain't walking right underneath there like that sometimes. Especially with this wind. The wind's coming, well, my left off to my right, and that deer's all downwind of me. And there's got to be a hint of human scent there, you know what I'm saying? It would spook most deer a little bit. Make them cautious. This deer's just wandering around. Ooh. And then when that one kind of took off, I seen another doe that was coming down the pathway here. She leaked out to the ag field. I seen her kind of trot across there. So that deer went that way. Probably hooked left out in that field, and they probably met up. So squirrel. So I'll sit out here a little bit longer. It's supposed to be real nice. It's only supposed to be about 61 today, but they are expecting showers off and on. The sun just came up. So I'll see mid-morning what comes through here. Again, this is going to be in just another pass-through spot now with everything devastated. You can look down there. There's nothing left of that plot. Remember, that was all vibrant green all back through in here. That's all gone. The hill, the little hill over here, that's all gone. Even some that I planted down here by the stand, you can see they've been tearing through there. That's all gone too. So I'm gonna wait and see. There's another deer that just leaked out to the ag field back over here. It's like 50 yards away. Oh, excuse me. So they're moving. It's just not the ones I want to see. So we got Big Ben. I haven't seen any of those Forkies yet. At first, when that deer came through here, I thought it was a fork buck, but it wasn't. Just a wandering doe. So we'll have to see what turns out in the mid-morning at this point. So I'll be back.
Well, hopefully that was a little bit more exciting. I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to look bleak for bucks for me anyway, in my area. That small parcel that I hunt right there, it's going to be tough, and I don't see me seeing a lot of buck action until the rut. It's just too overpopulated with does, fawns, and yearlings. That deer today was pretty young. So the doe that I seen after I saw that deer, I want these deer to take that path in front of the tree stand. I can catch them hopefully before they can catch me. That's the big gig here. Because when they come down that path, even if they kind of swoop off to the left there, I can still get a shot on them. It just gets harder when they creep up behind you. But that doe took a left and leaked out into the field. I seen her. She was a pretty decent size doe. I would have shot her instead of that one that was up underneath the stand there. So I'm just trying to be patient. so hard. You know, you got all those people that, you know, if it's brown, it's down. You know, I'm not like that. I want to shoot quality deer. If I'm going to shoot a doe, I'm going to make sure this doe is going to weigh a good amount because, again, you know, I'm hunting somebody else's property. I've made the arrangement to, you know, process a deer and give them a portion of it. So if I'm going to harvest a deer, it's going to be well worth it. And that deer today was not well worth it, and I'm not going to waste the time and effort. And again, I don't think I'll see a lot of buck action until the rut. And, you know, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad to have these does. Right now, it's really bad to have these does. You know, I was hoping making that spot, putting grasses in there, you know, making cover, cutting, you know, trees, you know, leaning them over, making some good cover would bring the bucks to that spot to kind of give them somewhere to hang out so they're not, you know, a mile up the road, 2 miles the other way, where they stay congested in that area because there is water sources over there, and I was hoping to make good cover and there's food. But unfortunately, all these does have taken over that spot, and it looks like I'm going to have to burn another doe tag there, and this is not the spot I want to burn tags. If I want to do that, I go to hunting spot number 2. But you talk about dead, hunting spot number 2 is dead. I pulled that footage yesterday, and that's why there's no video, because there's nothing on it. That spot is a little iffy too. Sometimes it'll come down to the rut, or if deer are really looking for food, because there's a field off in there, and they might come cut through those fields looking for something to eat in the wintertime. And I think that's what's going to quite happen with hunting spot number 2. Unless I get something on that camera, hunting spot number 2 is pretty much dead right now. Hunting spot number 1's produced, not to where I want it to be, but there's deer there, and I'm gonna hunt where there's deer. That's the whole purpose of this. So, you know, we'll have to see coming down. Again, this cold front, for some people it's great. For me, in the morning it was great. That, you know, 50, 55 degrees, that's perfect. No wind, no rain, a little bit of sunshine, you know, birds are chirping, things like that. Towards the more middle of the day, you know what I'm saying, around 8:30, 9 o'clock, it started to get really windy there, and I didn't want to hang out there. And then this little cycle of storm comes through here. You know, I'm not sitting out in the rain in this. I'm not sitting in a downpour or anything like that, and the deer aren't going to be moving either. Sometimes they do in that spot. I've stalked a deer there during a downpour, but for the most part, I just don't want to sit out there. I've got time, but, you know, I was really hoping to see a buck here early in the morning. You know, I got right into the tree stand as soon as I sat down. Boom, that's legal shooting light right there. You know, timed it perfectly, woke up, did all the 9 yards, you know, got to the spot, got in there, and nice and quietly, you know, before the squirrels wake up and they start chattering, and boom, you know, before I could even set up the video, you got a deer there. So that was encouraging. It just didn't pan out the way I wanted it to. I have timed a couple of doe families in there, and if I have to, I will. I'll burn another tag on one of those big nanny does. I will. I'll, again, if I'm rolling in footage here, I'll show you. There's a big doe family that came in. At least 6 deer, 6 to 7 does were in there. I might have got a picture of one of the forkies or one of the spikes that were in there by himself, but it's really hard to do. And plus, I got another trail camera that's kind of getting wonky on me. You know, it's in the same area as some of these other cameras, and one camera's picking up the deer, and that camera is not. It's like sleeping, and then it wakes up. You know, like Joe Biden. You know, it's sleeping, and then you have to shake it, and it takes a picture. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I might have to take that camera out, check the batteries before I left. You know, made sure it was working properly. The dates and times were good on it, and it was like, yeah. So, you know, I'm like, cool. Put that together. Hopefully it'll take pictures. If not, I'm going to take that camera out, switch it off to spot number 2, put that in there. Since spot number 2 is not yielding anything, I'm not too concerned with it, and put that camera back in spot one. I mean, I've got time. This is a waiting game. You know, it was patience. Patience paid off last year, and I think patience is going to pay off again this year. It's just, I wish the does would go away for a while, you know, and maybe when the rut comes and I've got all the does, well, where are the bucks going to go? They're going to go where the does are. But I'd rather shoot my buck now and then wait a little bit later in November, somewhere in there, you know, middle of November, to harvest my last deer and be tagged out. That'd be the ideal thing, but you never know. So it was pretty cool today to watch that young deer almost make a mistake and become part of the freezer. But again, we'll have to wait on her. So I'd like to thank all my old and my new subscribers and just the people that zip through. I greatly do appreciate it. Hopefully you're having a very successful day on this first cold front of the hunting season, and it yields good effort for you. I'm going to cook some backstrap and some loins, and like always, guys, we'll catch you on the next one.